Again, sticking on the qualifications, walk us through your, you said you were a political science major in college, and then did you go right to law school from college?
I did, yeah.
Okay. And you went to college, to law school at the University of Dayton?
Dayton, Ohio, yes.
Dayton, Ohio. Walk us through your legal career. What did you do when you get out of school, and how did you find yourself being a country lawyer out of law school? How did you land here?
Well, I graduated law school in 1991. I studied for the bar exam, passed the bar exam, and went to work. Was clerking for at the time I was studying, and ended up working for a law firm in West Long Branch, Smith, Shaw, Smith, and Oxley. You might know Joe Oxley. I worked for that law firm for a little over a year, and wanted to make more money. So I interviewed and was hired at another law firm, Bathgate, Wegener, and Wolf in Lakewood. And I spent 2 years, 2+ years in Lakewood. Had a baby. My wife had a difficult pregnancy. The Bathgate law firm was a rather large law firm. It was the whole billable hours chase, and a lot of demands were made on my time. That after a difficult pregnancy and having a newborn baby who came a little early, things weren't working out for me and my family. I moved to a firm in Red Bank. Waldman, Moriarty, and Halfacre was the name of the law firm, and was basically a junior partner. Spent some time there, and then eventually went out on my own. And I've been working as a solo since 1997.
Good. So you've been a solo practitioner for 13 years.
It'll be 13 years in July.
And it's working. Your bills are getting paid, and you
have
time to be making enough money that you can still do civic service.
Yeah, listen. I'm a real estate attorney. So as the real estate market goes up and down, so does my my annual paychecks, so to speak, my annual income. Some years are better than others. Some months are better than others. You work for yourself. You know what it's like. I'm no different from you. Some days business is good. Some days you're waiting for the phone to ring. That's the way it is in a small law firm. It's the way it is in a delicatessen. That's the way it is in Gulf Code leasing.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. What about tell us about the public jobs or positions that you've had.
Well, I currently hold 2 municipal prosecutor positions. I'm a municipal prosecutor in Little Silver and a municipal prosecutor in Rumson. I have filled in other municipalities on a trade basis. Sometimes I can't make a court date. Sometimes other municipal prosecutors can't make a court date. The thing about municipal prosecutors is you can't do outside defense work if you're a municipal prosecutor.
Anywhere?
Anywhere in the county.
Okay.
So if I have a friend who gets stopped for a speeding ticket in Millstone, I can't represent that person in Millstone because I'm a municipal prosecutor. So the pool of people who are available to be municipal prosecutors has shrunk. So we were a pretty close group, and we trade off dates. So I appear as municipal prosecutor in a couple of towns occasionally, but my main jobs are Rumson and Little Silver. I've been in both those towns. I've been in Little Silver for about 10 years. I've been in Rumson maybe 6 or 7. And it's the jobs that become available through retirement, or in Little Silver, for example, the law changed. I was not a municipal prosecutor until the law changed. It said that you either had to be a municipal prosecutor or you had to be a criminal defense attorney. The choice, everyone who does municipal court work, which is what I did. I've always appeared in municipal court. Everyone who does municipal court work had to make a choice. Do you want to continue to practice criminal defense law in municipal court, or do you want to be a municipal prosecutor?
And why did you choose being a prosecutor over being a defense attorney?
I liked, as a solo, as someone who works for himself, with no associates, no other lawyers to cover for me, I liked the steadiness of it. In other words, municipal court is, every Thursday morning. If I represented others, I could be in Millstone at 6 o'clock on a Wednesday night one week, and the next week, it was very inconsistent. I had a young family.
You could probably make a lot more money, though, with defending, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt that I'm not getting rich off being a municipal prosecutor. That's not. I mean, it's a fraction of my income. It's probably less than 10% of my total income.
Okay. So what other government jobs have you had?
Paid government jobs. I was the Board of Education attorney in Fairhaven for 10 years, which I gave up when I became mayor. I voluntarily, it's not a direct conflict, but I voluntarily relinquished that job.
Why'd you do that?
Because it wasn't right.
Okay, so even though it wasn't a legal conflict, you did
Right.
think it was right to hold that position while you, and what was it, so how much money did you give up, given that?
The Board of Ed job wasn't a big number. It was, I think I probably averaged, most years I made my basic retainer, which was $200 to attend the monthly meetings.
Mhm.
So most years my retainer was $2,400. That was to attend the Board of Ed meetings. Early on, in the first couple of years I did it, there was some litigation, some heavy litigation that required a lot of work, and I made more in the first couple of years. I don't know how much, but basically for the 10 years, probably 7 out of 10 of them, I made the basic $2,400 retainer, plus or minus a couple of $100.
What was that litigation about?
I was a special education case.
Okay. Because there's been some controversy, at least on my blog, about some of the things that you've done as Board of Education. There was something with the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
What was that whole Boy Scout thing in the Supreme Court decision that the Boy Scouts didn't have to let gay people be?
It's the Supreme Court decision wasn't the point. I was the attorney for the Board of Education. A majority of my Board of Education felt that the Boy Scouts should be excluded from using the school district because the majority of the Board of Ed felt that they were a discriminatory organization. It's separate from the Supreme Court's decision. You have to understand the issue was not whether the Boy Scouts discriminated or not. They were clearly not discriminating because the Dale case, which came out of Monmouth County, the Dale case said that they were not discriminating. That was settled.
Right.
The issue was, could a school district pick and choose who they let into their school? And the New Jersey School Boards Association said, well, here's a policy that you want to have everyone sign that says they don't discriminate. The Fair Board was going to adopt that policy that said everyone who uses the school has to sign a form that says they don't discriminate. The Boy Scouts said, wait a minute, we can't sign that. We're allowed to discriminate, basically. The issue came down to, could the school legally exclude the Boy Scouts? And ultimately I gave them the advice that they could not. There was an exactly same case in Florida that was far advanced, already in the federal court system. And I said, wait a minute, let's take a step back. Let's wait and see what happens with that. Fairhaven doesn't want to reinvent the wheel. And in Florida, the case was decided clearly that said the school couldn't exclude any Boy Scouts, couldn't exclude any group. If you let one group in, you have to let all the groups in. I gave the board the advice that they had to, continue with their existing policy and the Boy Scouts continue to use the school. And even after I gave that advice, it was still a 5-2 vote. The Board of Ed still had 2 staunch members that wanted to keep the Boy Scouts out, despite my advice saying you couldn't. At no time did any Boy Scout not be able to use the Fairhaven schools.
Did the Boy Scouts still use the Fairhaven schools?
As far as I know, absolutely. They never stopped.
Okay.
So
Good.